Hello guys, once again, it's Matt, and today we are flying out the Su-25K, the export variant. So let's thank our members, Overlanding 11B, all the Foxman members, and all the Fishman members as well, and let's get into it. So today we're flying out in two matches, the Su-25K, which is the export variant, obviously the premium one that we saw released with the Drone Age update. And it is just such an amazing aircraft. He already got bumped to 9.7 in the first day of the patch. So you can see that it's kind of a very good aircraft, you know. It has its problems, obviously, like the lack of like guided TV ammunition, you know. So as you see here, this was my first match flying out in air to ground, you know, as a ground RB match. So I missed a lot of the rockets and stuff like that. But still, and I was using, I think, the wrong rocket because there's actually four types of these S25s. But yeah, and yeah, I saw drone there. I had to kill it, right? But yeah, and I was being careful to not be killed by that 90-40 there. But yeah, it is a problematic aircraft in the sense that you have to get close to the targets, but because you are in a very low BR, to be honest, 9.7 for such a good aircraft, you are not going to be facing ADATs and stuff like that, very advanced type of AA systems, you know. And with that, you kind of don't have a problem in the air to ground role, you know. So yeah, it is a very good aircraft in this BR. It faces a lot of aircraft. In general, the aircraft that you face, they are very much inferior in most things against the aircraft. Um, so you will be kind of safe, you know. You are a heavy aircraft, so don't expect to be too. Uh, I mean, just dogfighting and stuff like that. You will be having problems with that, you know. Sometimes, as you're going to see, I'm going to be facing an SPS in a while, and it is just a very hard aircraft to actually dogfight. Sometimes against most of these aircraft that you are going to face in 9.7, but in general, it is doable and it is fine. You know, it is a very strong aircraft in the sense of the fuselage durability. It can take a punch, and obviously, I mean, it's a Su-25, right? And yeah, and I think, to be honest, with the because we are in a 9.7 kind of match, and you don't have any type of actual TV guided stuff, even though the laser guided can be very good, because you don't have any cameras to actually look at the target from far away and actually identify a target. You won't have too much time to actually react and to actually fire a missile like the KH-29 normally in these matches. So I would advise you guys to just use bombs and unguided rockets. It's probably the best, you know, and it is just a lot easier, you know. Not that it cannot be done. I'm going to make a video with the normal Su-25 as well, talking about this more on ground as well. And there I'm going to actually use the KHs, but it is just it's way easier, you know, just to use the unguided rockets, just like it was. Yeah, so that was a kind of a problem. I think the damage model or something is bugged because I was supposed to be dead, I think, there. But anyway, and yeah, as I was saying, it's just a way easier thing to do, you know. It's just pick up the rockets, fly low, attack the targets, and you will be fine, you know. And it's just a very easy thing to do. As you see here, I don't know what was happening, but the the proximity fuse of the LAV was not hitting me for some reason, and eventually I got killed. So yeah, and here we have a match flying out in an EC map for the RRB, you know, and I wanted to show this match because it is just to show that this aircraft can be used I mean, to in the RRB kind of situation, you know, because I think the most successful that you can be is in ground RB, because this is an attacker aircraft, a CAS aircraft, but in a situation like this, you will need a mode to actually research the aircraft, you know, get the modifications and stuff like that. And the A10 can be a problematic thing there because it is very slow and stuff like that. But this aircraft is pretty fast, you know. It goes, the cruise speed of it in these kind of situations is around 1,000 kilometers per hour. So it is a very fast aircraft, and you can do a lot of damage to ground units and get a lot of points, or destroy bases. You can do anything that you want with it. And with that, it is just a matter of playing enough to actually get the points that you need, and then use it in air to ground on the ground RB. Because honestly, there you can get a lot of points, but normally you won't be getting too much, you know. So I just advise you guys to actually use it in air RB. I know the matchmaking right now it's kind of a weird one, but with the performance of this aircraft and the weaponry and stuff like that, you can um, use it to defend itself. It has the R60Ms. I mean, it's 9.7, so and the flight performance is way better than the Yak-38, to be honest, and you can do a lot more. So eventually, it's just better to use it as a ground attacker, and if somebody comes to you, just use the rockets and stuff like that to drop the jetson everything, you know, if you really need it. So yeah, now we have the jetson thing that you can do that will make very easy to be light again. And then with that, just try to go ground pounding, you know, get a lot of points. It is way easier to do this and then to go to ground RB, as I said before. But yeah, the good part about this aircraft is actually this, that it can do a lot of things in the air to ground role. It has many different types of weaponry. As I said, it has even three types of unguided S-25s. The cannon is amazing. It really is amazing. Of course, you have a lot um, less ammo than the A-10, and I think the A-10 is in general is a lot easier to use as a gun, you know. But it doesn't mean that the gun in the Su-25 is bad. It is amazing. The rate of fire is amazing. The damage that it does is just proof. And the weaponry, the payloads are also pretty amazing. I think the S8 obviously is one of the best rockets there for the air to air RB kind of situation. But in ground RB, I think the S13 or the S25 would be better. And obviously we have the guided stuff as well, which helps sometimes. But as I said, remember that the HUD, the camera that you have to guide the laser guided missiles, in real life it's not an actual camera, okay? It's in game it's a representation of the HUD of the aircraft, because you actually just uses the HUD. If you search for some video on DCS on the Su-25, you take a look on that. That it's just you are using the HUD and you're locking up, and then you change it up a bit, and yeah, it's basically that. So the pilot doesn't have a zoom to actually see; just have its eyes and the marker on the HUD, you know. So, and in the game actually works kind of a weird one, because obviously the same HUD as in the Su-17, Su-22, the MiG-23BN and stuff like that, but the camera that you have, it's just an actual thing that Gaijin put it to actually make it so that it's a little bit more, I think, codable on the game. To be honest, because the way that it's supposed to be working, to be honest, a more realistic way would be to have a marker on the nose, and then you click a button to lock the cursor on the ground. That you can do that, you can do this in the game right now. And then with that you would have kind of a keyboard, keybinds that you would just uh, change a bit, you know, where the target is actually um, going, you know. So you would just use the arrows, for example, just like in a radar, and you would just tiny bit modifications if the target is moving and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how it works in real life. So you use the HUD as um, a place to actually know that the laser guidance is there, you know. So yeah, but still, it is usable. It's just kind of hard. A lot of people ask me how to use it, and to be honest, it is kind of hard to use it. So just keep that in mind, you know. Get used to it. If you are having troubles in ground RB to use the laser guided stuff, just get into the RB, you know. and use on the grounds here, on the ground targets here. You will have a lot more uh, time to actually prepare yourself in an attack or something like that, and you will have a lot more experience when you go for the ground RB. So yeah, it's just a matter of getting used to it. It is usable, but it is hard. Okay. And here we have a situation. So we are facing technically two, but there are third aircraft coming. And yeah, it's just to show that the Su-25 can hold its ground. I mean, it's not going to be a dogfighter, so I would not advise you guys to actually use it as a fighter, you know. Just use it when you are attacked. I mean, I know a lot of people will use it as a fighter because it's just the nature of the game, you know. But I would not use it because you are not choosing the times of the battle. Even a Harrier is faster than you, as you saw, but with that you cannot choose when to attack a target, basically. Um, Only if it's a target that it doesn't have a clue that you're there, but still, you're a lot slower than most aircraft in this BR. You're probably only faster than the A-10, to be honest. And yeah, it's a problem because you you cannot choose when to attack a target. You have to wait them to attack you, and then you go for defensive. So technically, always you will be going for defensive at the start of the dogfight, which is a problem. You are going in an disadvantage, you know. So I just think that it is just better, as I said before, to use it as a ground attacker, and if somebody attacks you, then you drop your payloads as I did here, and you start killing everybody. As you saw, I killed the two guys, and then we have the Lightning. And the Lightning is a very good aircraft, but not in a dogfight. So he kind of did a mistake here, but he had so much energy that, as you're going to see right now, he can just leave the combat area, and I cannot do anything. So that's the point. Most aircraft will be able to do this. They will lose sometimes for a dogfight against you, but in a general way, you will ended up not being able to follow him, and with that, you have to go defensive. As you see here, if I go up and try to maintain the position together with the other guy there, I would stall out, and the F4 would kill me. I almost died for the F4 there. So I just have to keep a defensive position and just try to, you know, keep an eye on the missiles, on the guns, and just keep evading and wait for the right moment to attack them. So it's not ideal, okay? It's really not ideal. An aircraft like the F4C will like lose for me in a dogfight, but a Milan, for example, it's a difficult aircraft to win. Um, Eventually, yes, because the Milan will lose all of its energy. But as you see, I'm already half turn with the F4, and yeah, but he can just go away and accelerate, and I'm done. Okay, if I don't have missiles, this is it, you know. So yeah, just keep that in mind. It is an amazing aircraft. I think it's one of the best premiums, just because it's a lot of fun to actually fly it. It's a very famous aircraft, and a lot of people love the aircraft. Me personally, I love this aircraft, and it is just worth it. If you ask me if it's worth it, I did a video like this on the dev server, and I continue to say to you that the Su-25K, if you don't have anything in the Soviet Union to actually research it, if you are starting the tree and stuff like that, it is worth it. Okay, it's better than the Su-7 BMK, better than the Yak-38. It's better than all the premiums. Maybe the MiG-21S would be a better premium, just because you are getting used to MiGs while flying a premium. So that way you can actually be more prepared to actually fly the other MiGs that you are going to get it eventually. But the Su-25 is just such a cool aircraft that the cool factor makes it the best premium for me, you know. So yeah, this is it. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, it is worth it. I hope it's enjoyable aircraft for you to fly if you get it. Okay, so yeah, I see you guys on the next one, and subscribe, guys. It helps a lot. So see you guys, and bye.